What up? This your boy Chris the Kid, and you watching Rockford Planet TV. Now, I was watching a couple of days ago. I was watching Tracy Mcgrady and Gilbert Arenas talking on Gilbert Arena and about Nick Young, them going back and forth with Nick Young, aka Swaggy P. And they were saying stuff like the controversy like a few like 4 or 5 months back when LeBron James said that ring culture didn't matter, and then Tracy Mcgrady got put on blast for saying, because they felt like he was disrespecting the late great Kobe Bean Bryant, which in one of my previous videos I said Tracy Mcgrady didn't do nothing wrong, and him like clarifying on the Gil's Arena platform, him saying that if, and it's another thing. I'm about to like go ahead and talk about that, but I'm about to say this. But yeah, with Tracy McGrady saying how he was saying what he was saying was, and people like misunderstood what he was saying was that if you put me on that Lakers team, I don't win a championship. He didn't say 1, 2, and 3. He said I don't win a champion if I was to play with Shaq on that Lakers squad. That's what he was saying. Like, he felt and people were saying how he didn't get out the first round and this, that, and the third, which we already know. He's not gonna talk about, and he ain't gonna talk about get out the first, like him not getting past the first round. Now, Tracy McGrady, in my eyes, no homo, he stood the greatest scorer of all times in NBA history. We talk about a scoring champion, winning scoring champion back-to-back, and the most improved player when he was in his days with the Orlando Magic. And T-Mac didn't say nothing wrong, and people just misinterpret what he was saying, and he got put on blast. But however, though, this is what I was about to say. I'm about to add this in. But then again, it is Tracy McGrady's fault. Because the reason why I say it is Tracy McGrady's fault is due to the fact that you had the opportunity to play with somebody that was willing to help you get a championship, that was willing to help you get past the first round. So he in a way, he's kind of whining and complaining, saying that he didn't have this help, he didn't have this, that. I give him a pass on him and Yao Ming with the whole him pairing up with Yao Ming when he got traded to the Rockets for Steve Francis and Cuttino Mobley. I give him a pass. The reason why I give him a pass is because Yao Ming was cool. He was good as a center, but he wasn't on the level to like Shaq status or Dwight Howard status. And Yao Ming at times was like 6'6" and fragile. He was just fragile. The only reason I feel like he was only in the NBA because he was tall and he had the Chinese popularity behind his back. That's the only reason why he was in the NBA. And people loved the fuck out of Yao Ming. I remember growing up in Houston. They love, and he had his own restaurant. I don't know if it's still there in Houston, and he had his own. It's almost like every time when you in Texas, it was always international players playing in the team. Whether it was the Houston Rockets, the San Antonio Spurs, and the fucking Dallas Mavericks. Dirk, Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Ginobili. They had the most highest in national players playing in San Antonio. And then you had Yao Ming. Then later on, Jeremy Lin. Like Houston is big on Chinese culture there. It's very big ever since Yao Ming got drafted there. So that's most of the reason why Yao Ming was there, and he was just fragile. He was cool and all, but he was just fragile as fuck. And he wasn't all that of a center. He was not all that good of a center. I say he was just mediocre. Like, just look at the years he was in, from 2002 when he got drafted, and all of a sudden injuries caught up to him because of how tall he is, and he decided to retire in 2011. I feel like he could have lasted a little bit years in like a couple, like 2 or 3 years. So that's why I'm worried about Wemby. Wemby is so tall to the point where I'm kind of concerned about his career, where if he's gonna last long or not. So yeah, I don't want Wemby. As much as I rock with Wemby, I don't want him to go out like Yao Ming. So yeah. Then back to Tracy McGrady now. You had every opportunity to win a championship and get past the first round. Cause you left to join the Orlando Magic. You went back home, where you from, in Florida, your home state. You went to Florida to be the man because you was jealous of your cousin Vince Carter, and you didn't like how the way he was getting all the spotlight. And if you would have stayed in Toronto, that was your best bet to get past the first round. People want to criticize you for, man, he a first round virgin. He never got past the first round. Like, you did it to yourself. That's all I gotta say. And even like when Nick Young was saying to him, y'all had you and Gilbert Arenas, that was y'all team. Y'all had what it took to get somebody like Shaq. Y'all had, like he said, y'all had the talent but no guts. And he was keeping it real. Y'all had all the talent but no guts to get another superstar. I mean, Tracy McGrady had Grant Hill, but at that time Grant Hill was injury prone, so that wouldn't matter. But but even if y'all didn't get, but then again, yeah, I don't think, but then again, I had to like think about what Nick Young said. Tracy McGrady was fucked either way it go in Orlando. Excuse me, y'all. Cause no player wanted to go play for Orlando Magic after Shaq left in 1996. They didn't want to play. Nobody didn't want to play at that time. At that time, in a small marketing team like the Orlando Magic. So it's kind of Tracy McGrady's fault that he put himself in a position. So the only person that had a chance to get a superstar in the Washington Wizards was Gilbert Arenas. But again, Washington Wizards is small marketing, and who the fuck wanted to go to Chocolate City? The only way that would have happened, well, they could have did, yeah. Gilbert Arenas had more. He had more opportunity. He had the best bet against a superstar than Tracy McGrady. So all this whining and complaining, Tracy McGrady saying that if I was in LA and winning with Shaq, do I get the winner? We all know that if anybody with Shaq at that time, that the most dominant player to ever play the game of basketball, we all know that if he would have, if you pair him up with somebody like a Tracy McGrady, Allen Iverson, they get to win the champion. They get to win at least one champion, because I don't see Tracy McGrady three-peating with Shaq. Cause I used to hear stuff about his shit being him slacking off, not working as hard as a player. So as a shooting guard, basketball player. So and he was all about scoring, and he didn't have to work. He was a good athleticism player, but he didn't have the work ethics like a Vince Carter, like his cousin, and a Tracy Mcgrady. That's why Vince Carter wound up lasting like 22 years in the league, in the NBA. So no, I don't see Tracy Mcgrady winning a three-peat. So what he did when he did sitting down with Stephen A. Smith and Gilbert Arenas, he said what he said was true. I don't get to win a champion, which I feel like he would have. His best bet would have been the year 2000. 2001, 02, he doesn't win. He doesn't three-peat with Shaq. And that's my take, that's my opinion. So, but at the end of the day, you reap what you sow, and you had every opportunity to play with somebody, like a Shaq. And that was in Toronto. Toronto was your best bet again past the first round. But you left and went to your hometown, Orlando. Damn, I said a lot of buts in these motherfucking videos. I'm trying my hardest to expand my vocabulary. I hate it though. But that's just how people talk, you know. You can't stop a motherfucker from like judging a motherfucker for knowing how they talk and shit. That's just how they talk. So, but anyways, this your boy Chris the Kid. Y'all will just watch Rockford Planet TV. Thank y'all for supporting me. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. And I love y'all. And also in the comments, make sure y'all be fucking respectful. Because that's another thing. If y'all not respectful and y'all being disrespectful in the comments, I'm removing y'all fucking comments and I'm reporting y'all asses. Real talk. Because what I'm not going to do is tolerate the disrespect at the end of the day. But I will respect y'all opinion and agree to disagree. This your boy Chris the Kid. I'm out. And also, I love y'all. I love my haters too. And respect for my haters as well. And stay black, y'all. Peace.